Yay.
Reggie boy.
Sorry I made you wait, Craig.
He's not real.
How dare you? Craig, ignore him.
I said
in
what I
our
said.
hearts.
Right. If we're all here and ready, got your music is playing, got a vibe going.
Yeah.
In the house of the inventor.
David's triumph.
Previously, in our last session, we would watch our party touch down on Ravnica and begin brewing a plan to free the captured Liliana Vess. Moving about the busy streets, they would resolve themselves to earn a little bit of coin to help fund the repair costs on the Dragonfly Spelljammer ship. Doing this after everyone in the party would get a bit of a Cult of Rakdos makeover, looking like a bit of eclectic goth kids currently. As they would go about their sort of night, sort of half day, they'd get to see more of the city and the sort of nightlife that it offers, and just a few sections of it. This is just a small portion of this massive planet-spanning city they find themselves on. And after making a decent amount of coin, after a night of performances, they would make their way back to the Gilded Leaf, sort of passing through the chilly night air, getting back to the resting place for the night. Our session today, beginning only about 2 or so hours after returning to the ship. Zooming into the Gilded Leaf interior, we would go down to the storage deck, seeing most of our party fast asleep, panning over, likely seeing Marius idly hanging about the storage deck. And probably in the middle of a book, maybe reading through one of your mini tomes, Marius. As you'd be sort of sitting there reading, give me a perception check, just to get a vibe on how alert you are right now.
Good.
Why can't we ever have anything nice?
What if it's a present?
What if I'm noticing something nice?
Yeah, you don't know.
I'm so
Oh,
into
God.
what I've got going on. I got Liliana in the morning. I don't trust my team. I'm busy.
Our sort of cinematic view, probably panning from Marius, just deep in thought, looking through his tome, maybe putting it away, grabbing out another book, just trying to keep busy. You have so much running through your mind. We'd pan out, sort of seeing these repurposed, what would be typically like animal stalls, where we would see our 4 party members each asleep in their own little stall. Panning back more, we would see sort of silently Gale resting in her bedroll, sort of shifting in her sleep, kind of tossing and turning. And in this sort of window, we would sort of shift our perspective to a dark dreamscape. Seeing Gale sitting in the midst of an eerily familiar theater, the scale and proportions being unrealistic in their depth. The stage ahead of you seems hundreds and hundreds of feet away. The row of seats that you seem to be sitting in the very middle of would stretch on for yards and yards on either side of you. The balconies and overhead-looking seats would loom overhead in an unnerving way. The silence filling the theater, the only thing you can hear, Gale, is the beating of your heart as it thuds in your chest.
Boom, boom, boom,
What would you like to do in this moment of scary recognition and familiarity? And not familiar in the typical sense. This dreamscape is familiar. This is one of the nightmares, and you're back.
No. Is there anyone around me?
Give me a perception check.
Don't drag us into your business.
Starting off high today.
We're moving up slowly in rolls. An 8 perception as you're sitting in the middle of the seat, middle of the theater. You look about and there's no one. You just hear that in your ear. Thud, thud, thud. Your heart is pounding.
I'm just gonna get up and try and run the fuck out of here.
You stand up and just sort of dart down this corridor of seats you currently find yourself in. As you're running, the seats almost grow in proportion. The looming sections of balcony overhead begin to close in, creating this hallway that you're just sprinting down. These seats beginning to close you in tighter and tighter as you're trying to pass through this section, this corridor that's closing on you. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I like to think maybe instinctually seeing that, like, you know, it's like closing, she'd try to like jump up and try and like fly, but I don't think it would happen.
Yeah, thematically, like as it's like closing tighter and tighter, beginning to restrict your movement, you're like soaring midair, trying to close the distance. But this row of seats that's become this tomb, it just continues on and on and on. And as it closes you in, you're like having a hard time breathing. You jolt awake in like a cold sweat here in the Gilded Leaf. The chilled air of the sort of storage deck sort of filling the space. Look around, your friends, they're asleep. You probably hear Marius probably muttering something to himself like, oh God, oh God. And he like you can hear almost like a book being moved down. And you're just heavy breathing, still late at night. Maybe look through a porthole nearby. You can see the dark, starry sky.
Just gonna sit there for a minute, collect my breathing until the heartbeat goes down, and then go in. Well, I don't think there's a shower here, but she could go into the bathroom for a little bit of privacy. Just clean herself up and stare at herself in the mirror for 5 minutes in silence.
Fair. That's fair. And to do that, you probably have to like walk past Marius. With your natural one, you probably notice Gale as like the door is being shut behind her, like seeing her silhouette move past, door closing, hearing her move up to the top floors where the actual like little latrine is, the water closet. She's up there for a good 5-6 minutes, Gale. You're like in there, just sort of panting, heart rate lowering, looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your new haircut.
Probably get scared for a second, like, oh.
That's right.
They're just like, okay, all right. Calm down, Gale, calm down. Whew. As she's like breathing, there's just big airflow like coming in and out of the bathroom.
Give me a deception check. I'll let you pick advantage, disadvantage, or normal. And this is just for how composed Gale looks as she heads back down to the storage deck.
We'll go normal with this.
A 23 deception.
But I'm not having nightmares, guys. Everything is fine.
Keep your secrets.
What would Marius see as Gale would come back down to this, again, very bottom floor storage deck, opening up the door, sort of closing it behind you? What's her visage?
Gale comes back into the room, looking cool as ever in her new outfit. No sweat on her brow. No panic behind her eyes. And she looks at Marius like, you ready for today?
I mean, I think so. But also, Gale, like, you're feeling a little extra windy today. And, like, it's just kind of like I'm having a hard time keeping my pages down.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
No, it's fine. I don't know.
Tones down a
Riding
bit.
the higher. But I think it should go fine. I don't know. Nothing always works out. We'll see. Worst case, it's cool performance.
What time is it? I don't think I'm gonna be able to get back to sleep.
Ooh, yeah. I'm assuming it's probably like, what, 4 in the morning?
Yeah, Marius, you would know that. It's like pretty close to 4 in the morning. Yeah, sunrise is probably like, an hour-ish away, maybe.
Yeah. I guess Gale will try and get some get a head start on a bit of breakfast stuff. Like, I guess mostly like washing vegetables because it's like way too early right now.
Fair.
Just make something extra bougie. You have time. Be selfish.
Oh yeah, I could try something.
That's fair. I mean, you could definitely try. You got plenty of time to experiment. You would know from spending time on the ship. They usually wake up around 7 or so, like their ship time. You would assume it's hopefully fairly well synced up with Ravnica time at this point, at least after 24 hours.
Well, I'm definitely not going back to sleep, so I'm going to be doing something to keep busy.
Pixie dust.
Easy enough. Prep a little bit of breakfast. Maybe do a little bit of stretches. Maybe up on the top deck, you even get a little bit of practice in as the sun begins to rise. Probably hearing some of the other Gilded Leaf crew members beginning to wake up. Probably some of your own party beginning to wake up as well. A bit of relief as the sun begins to come up for you, Gale, as, once the sun's up and you have to move around for the day, you don't have to sleep for a while. That's always a nice relief, at least for a little bit.
Don't gotta go back there till I have to.
In the morning, beginning to progress on fairly standardly, at least from your guys' time on the ship. Datla probably beginning to cook, seeing a lot of this prep work has been done, Gale. She would probably thank everyone, not knowing who did it until you probably make it pretty well known that, that was me. Yeah, no big deal. I woke up early.
Yeah, she'd make a deal about her. I woke up early specifically to do this.
With your 23 deception, oh yeah, Datla buys it hook, line, sinker. Thanks you profusely. Begins to sort of cook and prep. Would you help her with like the actual cooking portion?
Yeah, she needs to keep her mind off shit right now.
Fair enough. Datla would love the help. You two making breakfast. The rest of you going about your standard morning activities. Anyone have anything special they're doing on this particular morning? Waking up after a night of pretty good drinking, pretty good performances.
For Brett, it's the same old, I think. Probably a jog around the bottom of the ship or something. I don't know, they're in port. Maybe he could actually jog around town. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe he'll jog around that big disc.
Yeah, you could jog around Wayport easy enough.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Everyone going about their morning activities. Probably we would pan in, a little bit of a time lapse, seeing all of you actually digging in to your breakfast here, seeing that they're serving a pretty good amount from your time here on the ship. This is a very hearty breakfast. You got some bacon, toast, eggs. There's these sort of sauteed mushrooms, even a little bit of rice, some biscuits as well. You could tell they've definitely either resupplied or they're kind of using the last of everything before they resupply sort of vibe. And seeing all of you sort of hanging about here on the ship, enjoying your breakfast, maybe beginning to get towards the end of breakfast itself. Maybe some dishes beginning to be taken by Datla, maybe even by Gale, to maybe just hand off to Datla. Kaisher would actually come in. He wasn't really a part of the whole breakfast process. Usually isn't, at least from your guys' experience. He would come in, sort of joining you all for a moment before chiming in. Crew of the Dragonfly. Captain Gold wanted me to check in with all of you regarding your supplies to repair your vessel. She imparted with me the location and this missive for Taliesin himself. All of those matters sorted. You are free to go whenever you see fit or whenever you need us to. We have the rest of today and tomorrow. Plenty of time to arrange the supplies and such. Though Captain Gold did urge me to not escort you all there under nightfall, much like she spoke about previously and such. Certain areas get a little dicey once night falls.
Oh, we are going to a midnight showing.
Oh.
Like which areas? Like, is the Main Street area like dicey?
Man, I didn't think about that.
No, I believe most of 10th Street and the plazas and such, they're fairly fine, but many warehouse districts and more large-scale commercial areas can be a bit seedy once night falls. I believe if you stick to some of the main streets, you should be fine.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we were drinking last night. We got home fine.
Gorehouse isn't directly on 10th Street, but it's not far from it, correct?
I thought it was like right off it.
You guys would know you basically take 10th Street to Foundry Street, which is kind of like a minor street, but still like not like a back road or anything like that. So you guys would guess it's probably pretty safe as long as you stick to the main route of 10th Street, Foundry Street, basically straight to Gorehouse.
Yeah, it's only like 10 minutes once you get on to Foundry Street, right?
Something like that,
Yeah,
give or
something like
take.
that. Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we're venturing just slightly off of 10th Street.
Oh.
Brett, like, indicates his outfit. Like, we blend in. No one's gonna mess with us.
Oh, that would explain the attire change. That makes a lot more sense now. You're going to a Rakdos showing? Rakdos owned showing?
Well, don't they own, like, stuff over there? Yeah, we weren't really paying too much attention to that.
Oh.
Unless they just kind of saw other people dressed like this,
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is a good idea. But regardless, I guess just let me know whenever you all are interested in getting that handled, situated.
I guess as soon as possible, really.
I mean, yeah, sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah, we could, like, get this done right away, and then we could, like, take our nap before our fun show tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Like they did tell us where we could find like that like pet shop, so I was still thinking about checking that place out.
Okay.
Right.
A-Lady would probably chime in. I mean, I don't mind going to get the ship supply stuff sorted. I mean, kind of had that thought. I mean, I got all day. You guys could get a pet and maybe do some shows, get some more coin to recoup this. I mean, those of us that are going to be putting in a lot of money would, like a little bit, of a return, maybe.
I mean, we did make some decent money at those shows last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Going away with Gale.
I feel like we got like 70 gold last night. Because I know I started under.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Like I don't remember the exact numbers. I feel like it was around like 170-ish gold I had. I know it was under 200, but I now have 243 gold.
I feel like we got like a lot of money last night, like 300 gold or something.
I mean, yeah,
okay, it wasn't that much.
I mean, Gail was the one taking all the coin. I mean, figured you're just keeping track.
Yeah, Brett's just going on instinct here. He feels like they got a lot of money last night.
We made it in one night.
Look, I'll be honest, I don't like always count gold I'm receiving. Especially in that scenario, but I know I have more gold than I left off with.
So Marius, are you gonna start keeping the gold?
Didn't you run a club? Don't they have budgets?
What?
Actually, I don't remember what I started off with last night exactly, but
yeah, we do businessy stuff. Okay, I'll hold the gold from now on.
Well, okay, Elodie. I mean, if you think we should perform, like, I could do that. I was gonna offer to come with you, like, CD Warehouse Place, people might try to bother you just because you're alone.
Kaisha would pop up. Oh, I mean, I'm sort of part of the package. I have the location. I was specifically told to escort you all and hand deliver the missive myself.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little hungover still.
I totally get it. I was trying to forego that exact same thing. Good to hear your performances went well, though. Ari's, I think, still dealing with his hangover. Datla delivered his food to his room.
Poor guy.
You know, for someone who drinks like a fish, you'd think they'd handle it a bit better.
Well, fish don't like to be out of water, right? So maybe because he stopped drinking, that's why he feels so bad.
Mm.
Yeah. To be fair, this happens at most of the ports. I think it's the dry spells during the voyages, and he overestimates his abilities the first night at port.
Oh, right. Oh, you don't happen to know where we can get some blightweed around town? Asking for a friend. He points at Gale.
Not much of a partaker in it myself. I've smelt it about the city, especially when we went over to Zio's establishment, I suppose. I don't know. I would check herb shops, maybe potion vineyards.
Cool.
You know,
Cool.
we never did get the location of Zio's place. And we kind of asked Datla, but she never told us. You happen to know where it's at, Fisher?
Yeah, I know where it's at. Why would you all need to know where Zio's place is? I don't know if Datla told you, but he prefers to keep it low key because of his heritage. There are certain views people may have.
Sorry, I thought that you were telling us where we might be able to find a particular thing that our friend was looking for.
Blightleaf?
Yeah.
I don't believe Zio has Blightleaf. He works mainly on constructs.
Oh, but you said it was just around there?
No, I would just check various potion shops and various herbal supplies if I were looking for such herbs. Again, I'm not much of a partaker.
Okay, my apologies. I got confused.
Do seem fairly interested in Zio's locale. May I ask what for? Do you have a construct in need of repair?
Not necessarily. Again, I was just confused by what you were saying. I thought that you said that we could get the Blightleaf from over there, but I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you said that you smelled it around there, and so I thought that you were hinting at that's where you could find it, and so it was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, no, I heard him say that. He said he smelled it.
I mean, it was all about the city on our trip there.
Yeah. See,
10th Street itself, the plazas.
Yeah, just a misunderstanding. That was my bad. Sorry, Kaiser.
Fair enough, friends. If your friend here, Aelity, is true, I suppose the two of us could embark to settle these affairs. Aelity gives like a bit of a shrug. I mean, if that's what you guys want. I mean, personally, I think we killed it last night. I mean, get a little bit of extra coin. Kellen, by the way, what's up with the pet thing? I never took you as a pet guy.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've just had like a weird change of heart, or I'm feeling lonely or something lately. I don't know.
It's probably a control thing.
Maybe. It's probably a control thing.
we're in a big group. How are you
Are you
feeling
jealous
alone?
of their dragons? That's got to
I
be
was-
what it is.
Yeah,
You want a dragon
well,
too.
and not only
I was gonna
that,
say that.
but like Marius has, and like Aelity has Phineas outside of her now, and like,
Ugh,
I don't know if I consider that
and
pet.
Marius has like, he
Yeah.
has Granite and he has Stabby. Like, it's feeling a little lonely
It's not
over
a
here.
not a competition.
Aelity probably looks at Phineas, and Phineas looks at her and just like squawks, and she looks back like kind of with a tired expression. Yeah, I wouldn't take what we have as like a fun situation. I wouldn't look upon what I'm going through with envy. Marius, though, yeah, I mean, Cat's super cool, and Stabby is surprisingly useful for how small he is.
Yeah, so maybe I could just have like a cool, useful little sidekick thing. Like, so I don't know. I just wanted to take a look around. I just off my back. Okay.
You could
Well,
end up.
doesn't that take like training and stuff? I mean, I'm not like shaming you, or I'm not saying you can't do it, but like, you know.
Yeah, like, the reason why like Stabby is so useful is because Marius is literally conjuring them through magic
We-
to be here for a moment in
Yeah, well, and
time.
I don't have magic, so I just have to find something that has to be here that I have to train. Okay.
A dog.
I'm hoping it's not a dog, but if it's a dog, then I'll settle for a dog.
We're getting a dag.
Okay.
You know how you could have magic?
Giant wolf.
Gail's just gonna like light up her hands and with
No,
electricity.
no, Gail, no.
Guys, buy some spell scrolls. There you go. Wait, can you use spell scrolls without magic?
Yeah.
Like a barbarian
Yeah,
can
because
use
you
them.
just read,
Mhm.
just read
As
them,
long
right?
as
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
there are some like lesser spell scrolls where you would need to be a spellcaster, but your average generic one, yeah, you can do
You can-
either or.
Kellen's gonna end up like a sentient goldfish.
Oh, that would be fun. You think we could talk to each other psychically?
You could get a bunch of starfish, and then they could like be slapped onto your arms, and you could take them off and you could throw them like sure.
Yeah.
Push
Wait,
it.
isn't that voice inside your head kind of like a pet?
I mean, yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, but like, isn't the guy in the ring like?
Oh yeah.
He could be your pet project.
He is.
He seems
He
nice
is
enough.
my like pet project, but that's like what we're working towards, right? And also, again, if anybody can, I mean, keep this on the down low, but if anybody can find out where Zio's place is, that would be a really good place to put Boars, right?
Oh,
Well,
I didn't even think
that's
about
why
that.
you kept asking about it.
Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you
that's
just ask him
makes
that? That's
sense.
it's like a viable thing. I mean, a guy
She
stuck in a ring would suck.
Yeah, she literally brought up that like they need a soul. And then I was like, where could you, ethically harvest a soul?
We've been trying to keep things on the DL, so I didn't want to just throw everything off the rails all of a sudden. But maybe we could bring it up to that. I just don't know how it would go. I don't. These people kind of freak me out. I don't trust them that well.
I like your pet ring.
I mean,
but
it's
what if we put Phineas in the Warforged?
Can he do that?
Oh.
He could be a crow.
Yeah.
Like he could be a little crow inside of it, and then he could like move the controls with little crow feet.
Well,
That
maybe
sound
not
good,
quite,
Finn? You like that?
Or
Maybe just
his soul
soul.
gets put into it, and
Yeah,
then he is the
Like,
Warforged.
We have Vorus and the crow. At least he can fly.
Does it work like that? Can you just take Phineas's soul out of the crow?
Well, I don't know. You get the soul out of the ring.
Well, I mean, but there's less
Aelity looks over at
chance
the
of
crow.
anything happening to somebody that we know, I guess.
But we don't even know where he's at anyway. Have we go look for your pet and try and locate him? Maybe he's already got a soul. He's done.
Which one of these people do you think we should talk to it about? don't trust them all.
Well, Kaiser's kind of a wet blanket. That mushroom dude is
I don't
just
trust Mushroom
sketchy.
Dude. I don't think he's gonna have any answers for us. I think he's just staring at
I don't know. Yeah.
The
I don't think
this-
Fern would know either. I'm gonna be honest. She seems
Yeah.
like a little preoccupied.
She's just
Bit-
a little
bit
too
of an-
peppy, and I don't trust it.
bit of an airhead, that one.
Huh.
Coming from the literal girl made of air.
How
Then Datla, I guess, right? She seemed the one most excited about all the
she's
Yo
also the one
stuff.
that asked the
So
most
you can ask the
questions about
captain?
things.
Oh, that's right. Dale was super into it.
She definitely seems like, curiosity would get the best of her when she wants to know
She
something.
really like got like really questioning when I started asking about where Zio lived. They all kind of do that anytime I bring it up.
I mean, Fern probably wouldn't. I don't know. She'd probably make a song about it. She kind
I
of
think
sings
that's
everything.
a good bet.
That is a good point. If we wanted to get just the location, I think Fern actually is the weak link that wouldn't realize what you're doing.
I guess they all did deliver there. Dallas studies for it would be useful just to have them involved.
Yeah, like what if that Zio guy doesn't want to let Fern let us in?
Or just maybe he doesn't want to talk to just anybody. Like
Yeah, like maybe
maybe-
Datla is
Convince him.
very
Just
good.
like
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah. If we're wanting to bring someone, I agree. Datla's the
But
better choice
even if
because
we
she
just go
can
by ourselves.
convince them on an intellectual level.
You saw him kick in the door.
Well, I don't think he'll let
We
us
can just
in,
be
right?
like, no,
Get out the ground.
we talked
Give
to
me your war
to the crew of the Golden Leaf, and they sent us here because we had this, and they thought it might be useful to you. Ha ha ha.
Oh, a
They
lie,
sent
right?
us here.
Wink.
So-
But
Chris
so
learning.
even if we don't try and go to his place and we just do other stuff, we're still gonna have Aelity go with Kaisher for the repairs, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that-
gotta get done.
that's gotta.
Someone's gotta
happen.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Gail's gonna go ahead and
give a shrug.
grab out 200 gold to hand over to Aelity.
Sweet. Thank you. I'll cover the rest, and then if you guys do end up performing, then we'll just split that between what Gail put in and what I put in. Right? Like Aelity's like putting the gold away in her gold purse, looking at all of
Don't look
you.
at me. I haven't been
Of course.
collecting gold.
yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I
just
did
making
one
sure,
night
guys.
of collecting gold. Jesus.
If we make some money,
I mean,
definitely reimburse you.
I'm not trying to make it weird, but it is kind of strange. Like, this is technically Phineas's money, so I mean, I don't know. It's just weird.
Well,
Oh,
technically,
then
Phineas
it's fine.
owes me royalty for betting on the matches and stuff. So you know what? I think you can deal with it, can't you, Phineas? Squawkview can deal with it.
Like,
He squawks.
yeah, he squawks real loud. Probably hops over to a different resting point where he's at.
That's what I thought.
I
Thanks,
mean,
Phineas.
technically, this should be the captain's responsibility. But
I mean, Captain Professor Lady is.
Yeah,
is
but
kind
our
of-
captain is.
it's his ship. I'm just saying.
Oh, and Captain Casper
Oh,
is
that
also
captain.
indisposed of at the moment. I'm sure he will repay us as we bring back the material.
See, there you go, Aelity. You get your money back from him.
Fair enough. I mean,
But no,
Not a bad idea.
if we have time to perform,
yeah,
Sounds
I mean,
like
if
one
it
night.
works out.
be looking for a Warforged. And
Yeah, it's kind of a
Okay.
cool idea.
I do like that idea.
Hey, what if we do get a Warforged? Then Vors is like our friend, that he's just like with us.
what if he's evil?
I don't know.
Probably
What
not.
What if
That's
he
a good
becomes
idea.
Kellen's boyfriend?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm not really into like 1,000-year-old men.
What about Warforged though? He'll be a Warforged.
Yeah, that
Have
young manufactured body.
Yeah, how many 1,000-year-old men have you talked to?
Only one so far.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
don't
as far as I know, I
Yes.
guess.
True.
Okay,
So what-
well, so like, am I supposed to be asking Fern about stuff, or like, are we taking
Let's try the
Datla with
Fern route
us?
first, and if that
What's
doesn't
going on?
work out, then I guess we have to go with Plan B. Then I guess we have to get somebody involved, and then I guess it has to be Datla. Yeah, we'll go with that for Plan B.
Mm,
I mean, I think Datla seems nice. Yeah.
honestly, my vote's kind of for just getting Datla involved.
We're gonna go with
but,
Plan A first.
Group vote.
You're gonna go with Plan A first, Fern? Yeah, I think that was the consensus.
Just sounds like more work. We only have so much time here.
2 more days?
Yeah, I just think Datla's gonna help things go smoother.
We have today and tomorrow.
2 more
right?
days.
We have today until tomorrow morning, right? Or is it until tomorrow evening?
I mean, yeah, tomorrow morning, because you guys aren't, or told anyways, not to try to do this at night. But I mean, you could always try to press that as well if need be.
It seems like
And
you've
that's
been
fine.
outvoted,
Democracy wins. I'm okay with that.
Kellen.
Wait, so Brett changed his mind?
I mean, Brett agrees that they're short on time. And don't you want to like look for pets? Like, we're not gonna have time to look for your pet if we're running back and forth to Zio's place, and he's like, "Hey, get out of
if we
here!
have to
I'm gonna live
sacrifice today for Zio's place and possibly breaking out Captain Professor, then that's what we have to sacrifice today to. And I can wait for my forever companion because I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Your forever companion.
Still, well, they do die.
No, that doesn't happen.
Okay, let's go find your
Stabby
forever
die?
companion, buddy.
If-
Well, Stabby's different.
Again,
Stabby's
Stabby
a
only
spirit.
exists in the moment.
But what about the Granite? Granite,
Granite die?
I don't think they can. Granite can die. Can you die?
Granite
is
isn't
sentient.
sentient.
Well, okay, those are like the things he's emulating, though.
But-
So
I
I
covered
mean, it
Granite's
seemed like
ears.
what he wants.
It's just hanging on your. It's not moving. It only does something when you say something, and then the
hear
magic
you.
activates.
Excuse me, it
Gale,
does
you're
stuff.
lucky its ears are covered.
I'll have Granite jump down and start walking around like a normal cat. Hey, I just did it for convenience. Hey, Granite does stuff.
Yeah,
Does cat
I can
things.
hear you, Gale.
I just
Does it
don't
do
have
anything
to
without
deal-
you telling it?
I tell it to pounce on Gale.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
What's the
What's the
DC
thing?
for that?
I'm gonna fail so bad.
I think it's
I'll just
wildly
post
high.
Yeah.
It is. It's a string.
So the second command word, turn and pounce on the target. The target must then succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be knocked prone and restrained.
To the ground.
And it's not really like a violent or like forceful process
Yeah, no,
until
not
it's
that.
like laying on your chest and it's just like a weight. And you're like, oh, okay.
And it's doing a really intense cat purr while just staring at you. See, Gale, it does things.
Yeah, when you tell it.
Not until you pet Granite's head. Scratchies or it's there forever.
I can't. My arms are stuck. I can't
it's not.
reach.
Just saying that's in the middle of your chest, Gale. That'd be difficult.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not. I was imagining it like going over my arms too, but yeah, that's good.
It's a tiny
Just
little
on the chest.
After cat, if Gale ever pets the cat, then I will tell Granite to move.
I'll
No,
pet the
moment
cat, but I'm not
before.
gonna say it's sentient.
That's fine. Granite doesn't need your approval. But Granite.
This is one of those like purry cat pounces off of Gale back over to Marius.
No, just against the leg.
Like, get up off the floor.
Aelity will look at all of you. Okay, well, while y'all talk to Datla, I can at least get Kaishir off board the ship. Me and him can head over to that smelting section, whatever, and do this stuff. And then you guys will hopefully do your thing. I'll just hang out here whenever I get back, in case y'all aren't here.
Yeah, we'll just plan on meeting back here later. That works.
Sure. Aelity heads off. Probably hear a little bit of like chit chat on the top deck as Aelity and Kaishir make their way off into Ravnica. As again, it's still fairly early in the morning. We'll say like by now it's maybe 8:30 at the latest.
Be safe, guys.
Remember.
What would our party like to do?
We're talking to Datla, right?
Talking to Datla.
Talking to Datla.
What's our approach? Are we all going to talk to them? Are we sending one person in?
If Datla is alone, we can all talk to them.
I feel like the
Right?
I feel like that's just a
Think so?
coming on a bit strong, Maybe it should just be like two of us. We don't want to scare her off,
I mean, she's been in a room with all of us before. I mean, I wasn't planning to threaten to beat her up.
I know.
Wait, were we?
I don't mean it like I just
were
like
gonna
we
make
don't want to
threats?
make.
Is that part of the
I
plan?
don't know.
That's good, because I don't want to threaten someone so tiny.
I thought we
She's
were
not
Oh,
just
right.
gonna like.
I'll take
I
the
just feel like
advantage.
it's weird if we're all trying to it should be definitely be you because you have the ring, and then like someone else
One
that you
ring
like,
to rule them all.
you're like, oh well,
Did you make that up?
I had the thought,
Sounds really
like I
sweet.
brought it up with Marius that I have this ring, and then Marius is like, well, let's talk to Dal. You want to make it seem like it was like a spur of the moment, like this just happened sort of thing. Not, if we come in as a whole group, then it's like we've been, we've obviously been talking about this for a minute.
Okay, do you just want me to go in? I can just
What's
go
your
in.
approach, Marius?
Weirdly upfront and honest.
Hey, I like that approach.
And then I can message you if I need you. Or you can come with me, whatever
and
you
Marius
feel.
are going then.
I mean,
I can try to make friends with Q. I feel like he's got a lot more to him than we've given him a chance.
Alright, just maybe wear like a mask or something. He's a little spory.
Oh,
I guess I'll go with you. I'm kind of curious about them.
Yeah.
That Warforged.
Is that what
Okay,
he
do we?
As far as they've
Like-
said,
Okay, I guess this is happening then.
shudders?
It's
you
happening.
got it, Kellen. I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration with a little clap on your shoulder.
ooh,
Nice. Little clap on the shoulder, feeling that little magic pulse. Probably seeing a very faint, like fiery glow from your forearms from that inspiration as it sort of
Anybody
dissipates
got
some.
anything
As
for
it's a bit of
Marius?
stealthy mode.
Give myself guidance.
um,
Guidance.
yeah, I don't really have many buffing spells anymore.
Yeah, we should.
And even then, all I had was like haste. you want
Yeah, I'm
to
sure
be
she'd
real
really
fast while you
appreciate
talk?
Just speed talk.
Yeah, it sounds like gibberish, but there's just.
And then after a minute, it wears off.
Seeing our party split up. So our two Genasi's heading to go talk to Q. while our former roommates heading to talk to Datla.
This is our split.
Is that our split?
That is how we broke up.
It keeps happening.
I love it. You guys would probably walk past Fern as she's like probably just troping around the deck, probably singing to herself, maybe like politely acknowledging you all, but just continuing on her like little performance. You could probably pick up elements of her like song and play that are reminiscent of your guys' performance last night, the one that she was there for anyway.
Steve.
Yeah. And seeing our two below deck begin to head out of that sort of food court area, that little mess hall. Seeing that Datla's in the little kitchen, probably cleaning up from breakfast, maybe doing some loose prep for maybe a dinner, maybe a lunch. Let's start with the more interesting interaction.
Ew.
I want to see Brett and Gale.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely thought we
Yeah.
were going the other way.
No,
I want to see Brett and Gale as they head up to that. Again, on a traditional ship, what would be maybe like where the wheel would be, and maybe like a main central mast even. But here in place is this massive tree, standing maybe 10, 12 feet high, branches that just spread out, leaf covered. Maybe being one of the first times stepping up here, looking at the tree and the base itself, you can see it is not like covered, but there is a pretty fine layer of small mushrooms around the base of it.
Oh.
You probably see Q, this, again, you could tell features, especially after spending a fair amount of time on ship. They are clearly some sort of construct of some kind, but they are coated in this very natural like layer, like a husk over the top of them. And then growing on that husk is these mushrooms, these spore heads that almost seem to drift off with movement, this giant mushroom like head and form. As you both probably come up, both of you give me perception checks. Just as you see Q standing right by this tree, probably looking at the center trunk.
Woo!
Turn off strong.
Perceptions today. Oh my god.
5 and an 8.
It's rough out here, man. For Brett, with an 8 perception, as you guys kind of come up on this top layer of the ship, it almost feels like you cut off a conversation of some kind. Like Q is in the middle of something with this tree, and then as you step up, he would look over at your presence as you both sort of step up on this top lip. He sort of comes into full frame. Again, he stands fairly tall, pretty close to 7 feet or so in like full height, with a not really spindly, but a very long torso, kind of a little bit longer arms than you would expect. Almost like a swimmer's build to Q. And he wouldn't greet you in any way as you guys would sort of maybe approach the tree, but he would acknowledge, maybe look over at the two of you curiously.
Hey man, what's up? Just checking. You missed breakfast again. Yeah, you tend to do that. I mean, go to breakfast. I mean, were you talking to the tree?
No.
Oh, okay. Gale?
I think Gale would have visibly like as he said no, she's like, what the fuck?
Great. So, how are you, man? What's up?
The day is good.
Oh, good. Your name's Q, right? I'm Brett. This is Gale. We've been kind of hanging out for a while. We didn't get to talk to you, and I was like, we should talk to that guy, and see how you are. So,
I'm familiar with you two. Both primordial. Both talk often.
Got him.
Brett's like, is this a neutral statement or an insult? I'm gonna go with neutral statement. That's cool. I noticed there's no like steering wheel, and you're like always by the tree and stuff. I piloted a ship that didn't have a tree, so that's an interesting thing we almost have in common.
I prefer this ship.
Oh yeah, you've been on like a lot of ships.
No.
Okay. So like at
Oh.
least one other ship.
Yes.
Good.
Gail's just gonna lean into Brett's ear and be like, I've never heard one like actually talk back like a person like this.
Smack. Anyway, what do you like about it? The tree, I'm guessing. Tree.
The tree is fine. Berber is a friend, and he, like, very loosely in gesture, like, motions to the tree.
Well, hey, Berber. Nice to meet you. Sort of like hold my hand up to a branch. It's
Berber
lovely.
is not the tree.
Oh,
Who's Berber? Finally addressing Q for the first time.
Berber resides inside the tree.
huh. Well, I mean, I'd ask Berber themselves, but I can't hear anything. Are they talking now? Hello, Berber.
No.
Hi, Berber. Did wave at the tree.
Berber lacks the social prowess I do.
Right. Well, that's nice. I mean, nice to meet you anyway, Berber. It's okay. I'm not offended. You won't talk to me. It's fine.
Gail's just silently nodding her head at that social prowess I do comment.
Oh, well, we were just like trying to get to know you better. Like, I noticed you have like all this stuff around you. Like, if I get too close, is that gonna like cause me problems? Just checking.
No. We live together as one. If you are a friend, then they are a friend.
Nice to meet you. Stuff around Q.
They say hello.
Oh, see, they talked back to me, Gail. You like Blightleaf?
What?
Blightleaf. I'm unfamiliar.
Was that a fat sack?
Oh, I feel like you'd like it. If I find any, I'll bring you some back. How's that sound? It's leaves and stuff.
Gail's like looking at his form like, how is he gonna smoke it? I don't what?
I don't know. How can you even talk? Don't you like? Doesn't Q like not have like an actual mouth part?
I believe so. Isn't that right, Chance? He's just like
He
a
has,
solid
like,
form.
You can see what look to be eyes coming from the stalk of the mushroom, but outside of that, there's no like defining facial features or anything.
I guess. Well, so do you? No offense. I mean this with absolutely no offense. Do you like breathe?
Offensive statement.
No.
Could you breathe?
No.
Okay, maybe you won't like Blightleaf then. You gotta like breathe it in, like the whole thing.
Breathing in a leaf. Curious.
Well, you burn it and then you breathe in the smoke.
Curious.
Yeah, it is kind of funny when you think about it. I suppose. Any questions, Gale?
Do you see Gale just still staring in disbelief?
Cool. So, do you have any questions for us, Q? You know, I feel like I don't mean to overwhelm you or Berber or your friends around you. Do your friends have names?
You would see Q probably like look from you two over at the tree trunk. And again, maybe like the vaguest motion to it. And like looking back. No.
Cool. We'll get out of here. Spores then. See you around.
And Q is just like, throughout most of the convo, is just like staring hard at you guys. Again, there's no blink, there's no nothing. He had the occasional motion to the tree, but it's mainly just like hard, like watch you guys.
Okay, Gale, move. Just walk.
Oh,
Move your feet.
turns around, but then still like takes another look back as she like steps down and like almost misses the step.
Oh my god, okay. See you around.
Q just watches you guys as you head back down, just motionless, just watching. That's probably when Fern's singing kind of comes back in tune from your weird experience as she's just sort of dancing around the top deck still mid-song. And we'll cut back to the interior. A little timey-wimey. Again, maybe 10-ish minutes ago or so. Seeing Kellen and Marius freshly guidanced and bardic inspirationed up as they probably can hear Datla in the kitchen. The door is almost always open, especially if someone's in there. It's pretty small. You would just hear her sort of going about, not really like whistling so much. You can maybe hear like the occasional mutter, like almost like speaking to the dishes that she's doing.
Well, lead the way, bud.
Goddamn. Okay. I'll try to not be too stealthy, because I don't want to startle them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I that doesn't just naturally get their attention, I'll just kind of like knock on the wall.
I love it. You probably like step into that door frame a little bit behind her, maybe catches an eye. You maybe give that little like weak rasp on the door frame anyways. Oh, did you need seconds perhaps? We still have some biscuits left over.
Oh, no.
Wipe me out of Kellen. Do you want to
We're good on food.
Okay. I just didn't want to speak for you. So now we're going to pass. I was just funny because we were talking about that Warforged yesterday. You kind of mentioned something about a soul. And then, we were just like kind of drinking and bar hopping and performing last night. And then I just kind of had the thought of like, we may have a soul. Like I didn't think about it at the time, but long story short, I think we might have a soul for the Warforged, and I didn't know if the person you delivered it to might be interested in
and Datla, like mid, giving information, would go from like turning her head to look back at you to like fully facing you, like wiping her like hands off on her apron. A soul. Wow. Oh, okay. Entire soul. That's very interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
And you're like serious. This is like legitimate. Like you have a soul, and probably looks and like I'd imagine Kellen's probably like right behind Marius at this point, sort of vibe.
Just doing the Beyonce thing with the hand up. Yeah, that one. Oof. I was struggling. I had a different song in my head. I'm glad I didn't go for it.
A ring? You possess a soul in a ring?
Yeah.
I mean, so like, I didn't want to like get too involved without, consulting my cohorts over here. But like, yeah, we were just during our travels, we may have stumbled upon this ring, and yeah, there's somebody trapped in it. Like, his name's Vors. We're pretty tight now.
And Datla's mind is like blown as she's like inspecting the ring on your hand. Okay. Much like I jokingly, in jest, said yesterday, that if I did meet someone with 2 souls, I would send them right to Zio. We should take this right to Zio immediately. Honestly, this is hard to come
Cool.
by.
I mean,
would
yeah,
imagine
we're
a soul
totally
in a
game for
ring
that. Can
like
we just go
this?
grab like Brett and Gail first? I think they were talking to that Q guy.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I don't know if Ari feels well, but I can ask Fern if she would like to join us. Right. Like Datla's just kind of like sitting, going over info, probably like looking at your hand absent-mindedly still as you're like, you've
Yeah,
pulled
I
it
guess
away at
Fern's
this
okay.
point, but she's still
Like,
fixated
and,
on the ring.
Artie's cool too. Yeah, that's fine.
He's still kind of
Okay.
going through it. I'm sure he'll be
Yeah,
better
that's
by
fine
this
too.
evening, but still a bit
But yeah,
early.
Brett and Gail for sure. Like, we definitely want to make sure that they come. It's gonna be exciting.
Right. Excellent. Let me get my satchel. Get a few things. Oh, this is exciting. I was actually hoping if we could go back by there at some point. And she's almost like moving from the kitchen, shutting the door behind her. Before she shuts it, you can see her like black cat with that halo noir sort of pounce out, sort of like just following Datla in tow as she like closes up the kitchen, begins making her way back to her room to get ready. As you
Wow,
guys
this is
probably
so cool.
head off to go get your
Okay,
cohorts
I mean,
ready.
maybe I should like check in with Boris, Marius. What do you think? Like, be like, hey man, like, guess what? You may be getting out of here sooner than you thought.
Well, I mean, yes, but we also don't know. Like, he might not
That's
even want to
true,
see
but
us.
but again, like Dallas said, like, how often do you come
So-
across somebody with 2 souls? Haha.
Well, I just don't want to get anybody's
Okay, so
hopes up because also, you gotta imagine he's getting parts for a Warforged that needs a soul. I would imagine he's trying to source one,
yeah, but like, how
if not
where do you
already.
just source souls from, Marius? Like, I don't know anybody who's like, I don't know of any soul dealers out there. Do you?
Well, to be fair, I've never tried to buy one, so for all I know, it's not that hard.
I feel like Marius is confident that if he wanted to buy a soul, he would have found one by now.
Like, I mean, you could tell him, or just maybe float the idea of like, "Hey, would you ever
Maybe I
want
should just
to
save
go
it
to-"
until after
I mean, I don't know.
we
I've never
talk to
talked
him, if he wants to
to
talk to us.
Boris.
Just like when we're getting ready, and just be like, "Hey, buddy, good
Yeah, I
news."
think maybe just see. Hey,
This
this
is
is an
not
option for
necessarily an
you,
option
and then
for you, but this is where you're going. I fulfilled my end of the bargain.
Oh, okay.
Just I kind of
You
like
had a
told them
bargain
like,
with
yeah, I'll
it?
find you a body. It's been like kind of like my little pet project for a little bit. Yeah, the thing that gives me purpose in
Okay.
life.
You've got a lot of. Sure. No, it's like trust me, your side projects interfere a lot. I mean, come up a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, this
Oh.
time I'm helping somebody. Like, look,
I mean,
there's
it's
like little to no
fine,
downside from me
you know.
hoping this person that's been trapped in this ring for thousands of years that we don't know is necessarily good or evil. I'm sure everything will turn out fine.
Yeah, no. And why not
That
just
seems
give
like a
him
really
like
good idea.
a super powerful manufactured body? You know, they say, better to be a right hand of the devil than his paths.
Is that where who says that? Where'd you get that
Hmm.
from?
I think
Never heard
Joseph
of him.
Smith. I think is maybe the name.
Oh god.
Joseph Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I was just traveling around a lot. You just hear things.
famed
But,
bard
yeah,
of
sounds like a pretty smart
Arcavius.
person.
it's
Joseph
hard to
Smith.
fact check
Somebody should
anything. So.
probably like listen to his teachings and write them all down and spread the word of his gospel. And
No,
stuff.
actually,
That's just an idea.
Yeah, most
Gotta
people
spread it in
like him.
pairs of two, though.
It's probably at that point, like maybe you guys were having this convo like in that little food quarter area as like Brett and Gail maybe come back down after their convo with Q,
Oh,
seeing
hey.
Kellen and Marius have returned from their talks with Datla.
I'm just saying you can't be like, oh, I'm surprised you can talk right in front of someone's face. His eyes were right there. You know where the front of his face is.
I'm sorry. I just
it went well.
was so shocked.
Yeah, did you get what you're looking for? I don't remember why you went to go talk to
I
him.
mean, I wasn't really like looking for anything in particular. Like, it's not usually that hard to make a connection with someone, but there was a conversation. Gail was also there.
Brett?
Yeah, honestly, I was just kind of there.
And so were like 2 or maybe a million other people, depending on your definition of person.
Did you hit him with the handstand or?
Oh,
Wow, he really
No,
caught you
Damn
off
it.
guard, though.
surprisingly, this was like the first time. Oh my god.
I think if he walked in on your hands, he might have been impressed. I don't. He just seems like the type that.
okay.
don't-
Well, maybe when we come back.
I don't think they're they
Hey?
are impressed by the same things we are.
Well, you know, that's why I was recommending you do the handstand with you.
I mean, maybe at least one of the spores would like the handstand. I mean,
So they're supposed to
statistically, that seems probable.
The numbers are in my favor.
Sports talk.
Don't set yourself a low bar, Brett. You're better than that.
Thank you, Marius.
Uh,
Well, they didn't talk. Well, so I said hi, because okay. So Q said, "These are my friends, and they won't hurt you if you're not my enemy." And then I was like, "Sick. What's up? Hi, spores." And then he said that they said hi back. So that's like basically a conversation.
What is a
apparently, Berber lives in the tree. I'm still kind of confused on who Berber is exactly.
Or what Berber is, but they're not
Yeah,
the
what-
tree.
Yeah,
Oh.
specifically, they are not the tree.
I'm
They're just in it.
Is it
more
like, is this
confused
a
now than I
living
was
ship?
before.
Is the ship there? Let's not get too attached. This is a long term.
I bet
How did your
Quinn
guys'
Better
thing
than
go?
whatever you guys
I
did,
don't
apparently.
even what.
Yeah, Datla's gonna take us to Zio's place. We kind of laid it out to her, and we were just like, "Hey, we have 2 souls, ha ha ha." By the way, she was like, "Oh, we should definitely take you over there." So I think we're getting ready to go over there. I think she was just getting some stuff packed, and we're gonna head on out. I think she might be grabbing Fern too.
Oh, nice. Sick. You think
I don't know, maybe you can
Fern's gonna
convince her
bring the
to.
dragon or no? Probably not. She didn't bring it
Maybe
last.
we can put it in our act.
I don't know if it's a good idea to have.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, if this
okay.
place is like sketchy at night, I don't think just having around a dragon worm, like that's gonna attract attention, and
Me
someone's
either.
gonna want to try to steal it, right?
Well,
Like-
I don't know, Gail. I don't have a
Oh, maybe I
dragon.
can get one at the pet store though.
yeah, exactly. Nobody does.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't advertise. Yeah,
Oh.
okay. If you can find a dragon, we can get a dragon. But let's also remember that
Yeah, couldn't you, like,
here-
Not be able to afford a broom.
But maybe living things are less
Yeah, like
expensive.
shit's expensive here, guys. Like we,
Huh.
Yeah.
We won't know until we go check. So
Well, I mean, like, worst case scenario, we just
All
have
right. Well,
nice, like,
I'm ready to
vortex
go.
warp it out of there
Yes.
and, like, outside, and I just take it? Cool. Does that sound like a plan? I think that sounds like a plan.
I'm not gonna. I'm not saying no.
And
I
it is
don't-
a plan.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
look, we're already planning on, I guess, stealing / releasing
on.
one
Come on, we'll
thing.
be
I don't think we should do two.
right. New Liberation
Or-
Front.
It's like if we're already doing one, we might as well.
We need. Okay, well,
Can't
you
get
know
in
what?
more
Then
trouble.
you can pick out your target, but do not do it until
Liberation
after our
Front.
first target.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it on our way out.
I'm fine with that. Because I'm not going to be able to stop you, but at least I can hold you off till the
I
right
mean,
time.
I can just like.
We can free all of them as a distraction.
I mean, if it
Be
likes
free!
me enough, and I can like
And then everyone will be like,
telekinetically
"Whoa!"
bond with it by looking at it, then I can just pull it out of the store.
Why
You
do
try
you
and find
think
you
you're
an
going to be able
octopus.
to telepathically
Maybe I
communicate
got
with
new
all of them?
superpowers or something.
Can you do that?
Every day, Gail. All day, every
Have you
day.
been
Literally
trying to
all
work
I
on
do.
it?
Playing with my spark. Why won't you
Playing with your
activate?
spark bud. All right. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So wait. But it's high level. Are we going to?
That's
Are we
We're going to
looking
get
for
rid of
a
the
pet
sulfur.
with these other two
We're-
people?
we're
or are
doing
we
the Vorse
going to
thing
Get rid of the
first.
sulfur. Okay.
Oh, but
We're
I haven't told Boris
rehoming
that
the
we
soul.
might have
Don't say
found a
get
new
rid
body
of.
for
You're
him
gonna
yet.
offend him.
It's a surprise. Yeah, we're keeping it as a surprise for him until later.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh.
rehome him. God, watch him say no.
I mean, I don't think. Aren't you
I
the
talked
only
to
one
him when he
who's
was in my
actually
body the
spoken
very
with
first time that
Boris,
we
like
met
worn
him.
the ring and talked to
Yeah.
him and stuff?
Remember, he took over my body and attacked you guys. Then you guys tied me up, and
Yeah.
everything was good. And you talked with him a bit, and then I've just kind of talked with him ever since.
Yeah, then we talked with him a bit. And then
Yeah, he's different. I've let him walk through my body a few times. He's seen the.
We're chill now. He's
SEC.
different.
This whole time.
Can't be. He's been inside me.
and then he was like, I need some time to myself. I need to
Well-
think.
That's fine. I believe my ability to kill a Warforged.
I guess there's no point in like telling him if
Yeah, that's
maybe
kind of
Zio
what we
doesn't
were
even
thinking
think
too.
it'll
We
work.
didn't want to get his
so-
hopes up without talking to Zio first and seeing if he even wants the soul. So I didn't want to like get his hopes up and be like, "Hey, buddy, I found a body for you." Ah, just kidding. You know, I didn't want to like pull the rug out from under him, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Does he know what a rug looks like?
Okay.
Did you have rugs back then?
Wow, I wasn't there.
Fair.
And it's probably at that point Datlo would come into the little like food court area after, taking a good like 6-7 minutes. You probably heard them moving about the ship a little bit. She would sort of come in, Noir, just like probably pounced up on her shoulder, probably like paws up and like half on like Datlo's back, just sort of claws in like a little turret. And Datlo would come in. Oh, you're all here. Perfect. Fern would feel bad leaving Ari behind, so she's probably going to remain back here. So I think it'll just be us 5 for the venture, but shouldn't take us too long to get there. I think it was about 1.5 to 2 hours or so to venture to, I think it's Griffin Heights was the name. We should be able to find our way. It's a very beautiful home. Many different little businesses
Well, I
and
guess we're off
homes
to
in
see the
that same
wizard?
sect, so should be pretty easy to find.
Cool.
Great.
Artificer?
Yes. Sorcerer? Doesn't matter.
Artificer.
Artificer, yes.
Yeah, I assumed Artificer, but
Man behind the kid.
as we would see this group of 5, probably like loosely led by Datla, as you guys would make your way to the top deck, heading down the what was it? The slip gate?
Slipway.
Oh, right.
We
Yeah.
talked about this.
Slipway.
Slipway.
Heading down the slipway, that ramp connecting onto Wayport itself, the edge that the Gilded Leaf would be parked on. Again, this massive disc just floating above this, of essentially building and structure lined chasm beneath it. 3 distinct bridges sort of jettison connecting onto the disc. As you guys would follow Datla, heading towards, again, the familiar bridge, heading into 10th Street. As you guys make your way into Ravnica proper, everyone give me perception checks for you all. You guys got a little bit of time to
boy.
walk here.
Come on, Brett, you can do it.
You
We're
guys
gonna
got
roll
this
so high, guys.
redemption arc.
Damn it, it's technically better.
Better.
Damn it.
We're getting better, Brett.
And you might have that bardic inspiration still.
Hmm.
I
It
had
is
to
fair. You didn't need to
restart
pop those.
mine
You could use your guidance, Marius. Screw it.
and wouldn't roll.
Dad, moving up in the world.
Start my page.
Oh no.
Perception.
You're good, boo.
How dare you have technical
Oh.
problems that you can't control?
Natural 20
Yes.
from Kellen. Nice.
That's the page was like, hold up, I need to double check this.
Beautiful. As you guys would begin to venture, you guys would all notice that you're heading on like kind of the same path you were to head to Plaza South, kind of a little bit below the Chamber of the Guild Pact. As you guys would enter that 10th District Plaza, heading into Plaza Avenue proper, again, seeing all of the buildings here now all lit up with activity. Last time you passed through here, it was a little bit more dead, a little bit more quiet. About a third, maybe even like half of the shops were kind of closed or closing down. But everything would be alive with activity. Passing through those carriages that you saw mainly parked off to the sides, they would all be traveling about the area. Again, each carriage sort of being pulled by its own very interesting beast. And even the ones that maybe have a mean form or look to them, they all have these very like pretty pastel-y paint jobs on them. Where you'd see maybe this big like 6-legged rhino with like 4 horns coming out of its head, but it'd be like bright neon green with like blue and pink polka dots along it, and it would like leave a little trail of like green mist behind it. It's very interesting how they're choosing to make things more appealing, because again, moving through this part of Ravnica, the sense of wealth and sort of financial stability is pretty prominent. A lot of kind of bougie stores, what would be, for us, like the Gucci's and like Prada stores, a lot of those equivalents, and simple garments and clothes, a couple weapon shops, a few odds and ends. In this particular avenue, as you guys are passing through it at fairly busy hour here in the morning. Again, it's maybe 9 o'clock or so at this point, 9:30. Everything kind of in full swing, Ravnica here. And where you would expect to be heading to the guild, Chamber of the Guild Pact, that sort of big plaza, you guys take a hard turn, beginning to pass through not the Trans Guild Promenade, not 10th Street, but some of the more back streets here. Though again, as you pass through, it's like you're going through fine neighborhoods at this point. Very affluent people seem to live in these old estates and these buildings, going through these very suburban, almost like vibes. Passing even further, you guys would head into Whitestone. Again, in Ravnica, there's lots of signages here, so nothing's too much of a mystery as like, where am I? It's fairly easy to figure out where you are. Stepping into Whitestone, this would almost feel like while everything feels like a small city in a city here, Whitestone itself all has a very similar architecture to it, as you almost enter at a high angle and have to descend into Whitestone itself, seeing the lining of rooftops as you descend into the lower streets. Passing on to the Statue Avenue, there would just be a row of statues lining this whole place. Guys, passing on further, begin hour and a half travel time beginning to approach, about an hour and 45 minutes as you would pass through Whitestone, heading into what looks like a fine borough, definitely more of a neighborhood area. Entering, there would be small corner shops, small boutiques, a couple of homes that looked to almost be like reinvigorated to be like a small storefront. Maybe the residents would actually live somewhere in there, but it's mainly more of these affluent neighborhoods. There would be a lot of white and black and gold designs here. You would probably see signs of these like large emblem. You guys may be piecing together that Griffin Heights itself that you would be entering is very much in the Orzhov zone, if you will. A lot of the sort of higher up, maybe religious or financial figures probably live here. As you guys begin traveling further and further into Griffin Heights, Datla would sort of be looking curiously. Okay, I believe it's maybe down this street, all right. As you guys maybe take a left turn heading down, Datla begins to point out what looks like this fine, almost like dark black Victorian manor. Maybe 2 stories with a fine attic that comes up to a point. Dark rafters and a sort of paint line it. The small sort of front yard that sort of wraps around the front and connects into a fenced-in backyard would have many bushes and shrubberies and trees that come up and conceal a lot of the ground floor of this place. Has this very almost maintained, grown over aesthetic to the ground floor here. It would have these stairs that lead up to a very narrow sort of wraparound front porch that just goes around to the left side here. With a very fine, almost ornate door in place. Datla looking at this very fine manor. I think it's this one right here. And as you guys begin to approach, Kellen and Gale, as you guys walk up to this very beautiful, again, almost dark Victorian manor, not really across the street, but sort of like a couple buildings down across the street. There's another building that catches your eye. Again, very Victorian in its build. This one would almost look like a brownstone meets a classic Victorian manor. Very tall windows that sort of go up very high. Must be a very high ceilinged ground floor. A second floor can sort of be seen almost as if it was built later on, but still matching fairly well. A lot of brown aesthetics, some white painted wooding around it. But it's the sign that catches your eye. As you're sort of, the two of you are following the group towards this black Victorian manor. This other brownstone mixed manor over on the side, the sign, it would read the Omen Seekers. And it's the name underneath the Omen Seekers that catches you. Headed by Kaya Kasser. You sort of see it in this fine gold font under this almost circular emblem, the Omen Seekers.
Kellen kind of like elbows Brett. He's like, Brett, look at that. Isn't that somebody that we were supposed to find, possibly? Yeah. Captain Professor.
That wasn't Cassier. Yeah, the professor's contact that she brought up.
Oh, the sign, Brett. The sign.
What? That guy in the red cloak? He doesn't look familiar. Oh, Omen Seekers. Hey, wait! Isn't that the name of? Yeah, that's the name.
Captain Professor.
Someone.
Captain Professor Liliana.
Gave us. He's trying really hard.
Yeah, Gale would have finished that thought for you.
Captain Professor, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. That was.
Did I kill him?
That was who she thought
So
maybe
we know
we
that's
could.
Right there, Marius. It's right. Look right there.
Talk
Marius.
to, but.
No, not the guy in the red cloak. The sign.
What? The guy in the red cloak?
Yeah, no. Look under that.
Oh. Yeah, the Omen Seekers? That sounds kind of cool.
So,
why couldn't someone have just told us that she's the fucking Omen Seeker?
Zio here? I guess we could stop in and check,
It also
right?
says headed by. I wonder if she's actually there.
Like, do we need
Uh,
Statla there for
Oh, that's a
that?
good
Like, should we
point.
just be like, hey, thanks,
I
Statla, for taking
guess.
us all the way over here. We
Well,
actually have something that we have to do.
I mean, yeah. What? How? Let's just do one thing at a time, because I didn't even
No,
think
but
it was that big of a
we could
deal,
get
and kind
her
of seemed like
like
a
prepped and
backup
ready
plan.
just in case
So,
things go south already, right? Like,
well,
yeah. No, I
yeah.
meant that too. Yeah, like
I just meant to,
before things
let's take
first.
care of
Oh,
Boars
okay,
and see how
okay.
that turns out, and then,
Okay.
but like, if we don't have
Cool.
time, we don't have to like force anything.
Well, at least we know where she's at.
But also,
Good omens, right?
maybe
These are all
this
good
is
omens. These are good signs.
good signs, good omens. Yeah, I don't want to say
Praise
it's.
Saloon, I guess,
They're both.
or whatever Koski would say.
They put me in a corner with the omen and the so.
Okay, Praise Saloon.
What do you mean? I guess it is bracelet. Sorry, I just get a little defensive.
Datla, who was probably like 10,
2
15
blocks
feet
away.
ahead. You guys like kind of loosely stopped to like point this out and talk about it. And she was like essentially about to step onto the property and kind of turns back, sees that you guys didn't follow her. And she probably like, waddles back over curiously. Is there something wrong?
Oh,
Right?
we just. It was the omen sign. We just got lost and like, ooh, what is that? I wonder what that's for.
Oh, I thought you
It
were just talking about the fellow in the red cloak. It's beautiful.
I was
Yeah.
admiring that. I was wondering where you got it.
It's very eye catching, but as you can see, we try to stick with a neutral black.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the makeover. I never commented openly, but I think you all look ravishing. But while we're sitting here, maybe before we get there, I did have the thought on the way over here, and I don't mean to be too nosy, but how did you procure the ring? Did you come into possession of something like that?
We found it.
Oh, we just killed a guy and took his soul.
We found it.
That's so funny, yo.
Yeah, no, that's a joke.
Okay.
Didn't
But no,
kill
we didn't.
anybody. God damn it, guys.
It just didn't have anything to do
Sorry,
with the
their sense of humor is really, really terrible.
the rumor's out there now. Sometimes it's on point. Anyway,
I get it.
Yeah, we just kind of stumbled across the ring, and
You ever just
obviously
like sometimes when you're
bad
like
being in
out
some
and
trap like
traveling,
that,
like sometimes
so-
you go cave spelunking.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
like-
you hear about cool things, and like it was just we found this in a cave.
Oh,
We
wow.
could tell it was magical. We thought it might have some nice enchantment or something. Turns out it was enchanted to contain a soul.
Yeah, so it's kind of a letdown, but it's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
a ring of mind children.
isn't it a ring of mind shielding?
Oh yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Well, isn't it just that if it's empty, you get and you die with it on, then you go in? What else does it do?
It helps prevent people from being able to read your mind.
Oh.
Does
Yeah,
Oh,
it does
both?
have other properties, but if you
I
die
can
while
also
wearing
turn the
it, then
ring
it's also
invisible.
you're
I don't
mine
know
now,
if that
bitch.
means anything, but
It's just to hide it, so then
I guess the brain
people don't
looking
know you're
ring
wearing
kinda
a
gives it
ring to
away,
protect
right?
from mind reading. Yeah,
yeah, and it allows creatures.
if you're wearing a ring like that, you love your mind games. Gail suddenly thinking about all the high-powered people she's interacted with who probably had those on.
Telepathically communicate with creatures if I allow it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't even realize that it
that's
did
a
most of this stuff.
very powerful item.
I kind of mostly just use it to talk to Boris. I get lonely.
Yeah, neither.
Sure, I get that. I mean, I do the
See,
same
this is
with
why I need a
Noir,
forever
and she
companion,
like probably
guys.
scorches Noir's head.
All right, well, yeah, we'll find you a forever companion. That's
If
speaking
you
of
learn how
Boris,
to,
the ring.
if you learn how to summon a familiar, it literally will be a
I can't
forever
die.
companion for you.
That's not something that happens to people,
Well,
right?
till you die. Hmm.
Brett
Heard
rubbing the
rumors
back of his
about
neck.
a guy named Buddy.
Well, this
The
conversation
scar
took
on
a
Gale's
strange
back just
turn.
tingles.
Yeah, we're all
Come on,
too
we best not
familiar with
take
each other.
too long.
Yeah,
Like Datla's just
no.
looking at all of you interestingly. It was like the turn of conversation.
So what can you
Yeah,
tell us
Datla, do
about
you think that
Zio?
cloak
Is he
was
nice?
embroidered? Because it's really nice. Maybe I could get mine embroidered.
I bet you. Oh, he's very kind. I mean, what he does is sort of selfless. I mean, endangering himself just in the hopes of helping construct beings. It's very noble.
And are construct beings kind of not okay here?
No, construct beings are totally fine, but I'm not sure if any of you know this, but and she sort of gets you all in close, even though you guys aren't like speaking loud or openly to begin with, but it's like extra hushed. Zio is a separated Alithid. He has been parted from the great mind. He's free thinking.
Hmm.
That's right. You
Oh,
did
that's
mention
how
that.
that works.
Like,
Okay.
What I mean, all Alithids are free thinking, but they have the influence of the great mind, but not Zio for whatever reason. I was kind of too timid to even inquire something of that magnitude, but from what I understand, he's completely separated from it.
like
Assured Captain
documentation that
Golded when we first
they
arrived.
can use to like prove this, or
Interesting.
Oh, no. I mean, it's sort of hard to tell, I guess. I mean, Captain Gold made it sound like it was obvious once conversing with him for some time. It's the first time I ever met an Illithid, honestly. It was kind of shocking.
I bet
Well, you're
if they were connected, you'd be able to like see it magically, detect magic.
That's probably fair. Yes, that would make
so
sense.
you guys like
An
trust
influence that
this
great would likely
person?
be detectable.
Oh,
From what Captain Gold suggested, he's been a trusted individual by constructs in Ravnica for
I
some
mean,
time,
I'm
basically,
looking
since
around
the
and I
Great
don't
Illithid
see
War. That was some time ago.
many or any constructs in this group.
I mean, we're probably fine. Let's just go feel him out. I mean,
Oh yes, that is fair. I assumed I would likely just hopefully knock on the door, get his attention. At the door, I would hopefully just simply convey that we have a key component for his research, and hopefully he gets the hint,
Okay.
lets us in, and then you can tell him about your friend
Yeah,
in the
you do your
ring.
thing.
oh, okay. So we'll just hang back and you.
But I assumed he usually goes off social connections and in-person meetings, so hopefully he remembers me from yesterday. I mean, I'd try not to ask too many questions, but I
Yeah, I
think
sure
I
hope
made
you
an
did,
impression.
Datla. You sure make an
Okay.
impression on us.
Yeah.
You like
well,
kind of
let's
like
just try that then.
knuckles her shoulder like half-heartedly.
Take 1d4 physical.
You got this, Datla. You like talking about Guild War Forges. It's gonna go great.
Exactly. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Pat,
Anybody
pat. Arctic
plead our
inspiration.
case. Shoulder touch guidance.
You guys.
We
pump
totally
her up.
believe in you. Here's a bunch of buffs.
You can't
She's
fail,
just
dude.
like, why is my whole body tingling?
And glowing.
Oh, yeah, and her being familiar with magic, and she's partied with Kaisher and 2 other bards, so she knows this sort of vibe, even though it's in different forms. And she probably gives a nod. Better safe than sorry. All right, come on. And she would kind of close that 10-15 foot gap over back to the actual property itself. This small little branch off that goes from the sidewalk here that leads up the front steps. The gate itself only being like back sort of touching the building itself and then wrapping around the building. So the front yard is sort of open and exposed. Again, high reaching little trees and bushes and all various plants, all about a very well kept front yard. Datla in the lead, you 4 behind, begin to approach, walking up the front steps. This beautiful, large, ornate door with these very intricate carvings of various plants and flowers and the like. There would be a bit of a knock on the door. I would say Kellen and Gale, you guys would both pick up that there's no particular guild branding here that you can see. Again, some places that you've seen have very simple ways of showing it, some more loud, but with the natural 20 and 18, as you sort of check out this place, it seems to be maybe guildless, at least in appearance. After a bit of a knock on the door, a slight moment, the front door would open, and you all would see a very well-dressed looking furbolg. They would have a very large tuft of dark brown hair that would sort of sag across their face as a very large hair. Their gown and garb looking kind of like a druidic scholar, if you will. His general form being well kept besides his like giant mess of a hair. He's like wide bovine features, wide nose, the big smile as the door opens up. Good evening, Datla, I believe. And Datla would give a nod. Yes, I'm glad to see you remembered me, friend. I have something maybe useful for your current research. And I was wondering if we could maybe discuss it inside. And Datla will make a persuasion check. Let me open up her character sheet here.
You got it, Datla.
Sure. That's what we'll do.
Hey.
Natural 17 plus 1, and then we'll roll a D4. 21. The Bardic Inspiration's a D8 now.
D8, sir.
Dang. Extra 9, so for a 27 collectively. You would see this furbolg form give a bit of a nod, making heavy eye contact with Datla, looking at the rest. Rest of you all like standing maybe just 5 feet or so behind her on this, again, fairly narrow front porch. Furbolg looking back at Datla, and Datla getting the hint. Yes, these are some of my associates. They would be accompanying me in this. He'd give a bit of a knowing look and then a bit of a nod, opening the door fully as it would open inward, as he would sort of hold it, motioning in. Please enter.
Thanks.
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
All of you enter. It's a beautiful entry hallway. It sort of stretches into this building. Nothing unnatural about the proportions here. It would have a very high ceiling, ground floor. You could see stairs that would lead up to a bit of a slight balcony to this minorly exposed hallway that would be the second floor. You could see a very minor portion of from down here. To the left would be a very wide open sun/tea room. To the right of you would be this large study, very comfy looking sofas and such. You can see a fireplace off to the side. You would see this furbolg figure sort of part off towards this study, leading you all in. There'd be many bookcases sort of lining the space. You would see again one wide couch that looks like it could seat 7 people on it, would be nestled in the center. A very wide matching coffee table in the center. On the opposite side of the coffee table would be a secondary chair almost at the head. Another mini sofa, maybe 3 people could sit there. Individual chair, 3-person sofa, and then sort of a free sitting chair that it's a little bit closer to the sofa, so it sort of opens up to the room. So essentially there's a ton of seats around this very large lounge space. Stepping in, the furbolg would snap his fingers, and in an instant the fireplace would sort of light. This teapot that would be nestled in the center of this wide coffee table would lift itself up. You guys could almost see the bottom of it beginning to heat. And in that same instance, almost rising from the coffee table itself, this very fine, dark wood that it seems to be made out of. Rising from it would be small teacups, looking to be 6 of them. Moving into the space, the furbolg would sort of motion, please, take a seat. We can discuss matters safely in here, I hope. Datla giving a nod. Yes, everyone here has been up to date. Furbolg would give a nod, and you would see their form almost like ripple. This druidic scholar Furbolg persona fading away as this magic dissolves. Seeing underneath it, very fine, again, almost 7-foot-ish tall individual. They'd have this almost tight collared shirt with a matching almost like coat, long sleeves sort of go down its arms. The only exposed skin that you could see would be part of its neck and head. And so there would be this almost fleshy, slimy looking head of an octopus. Several tentacles coming down from its head, very almost like a Davy Jones. The actual color would be a little bit more like a blue pink to its general form. Wide black eyes sort of nestled on its head, small slit-like openings where its nose would be. And I have a handout here. Meant to find it earlier. Here we are.
Oh, cool. Mono mind, that's fun.
And you would see this illithid form sort of like take shape and give a bit of a half bow. It is a pleasure to meet you all. I am very interested to hear what you have to say, Datla. As you guys all sort of move and take seats, the teacups would almost begin to shift and move on the coffee table to just a more comfortable spot, one for each of you. Zio sort of standing, sort of remaining sort of by that doorway, maybe like would loosely begin to approach as Datla would speak. You would see the teapot still sort of hovering above the center of the coffee table. The bottom would begin to get a little hot, hearing some of the steam as it would begin to hiss. Datla sort of looking as she would take her seat in like an individual little comfy armchair here. Yes. My associates here, they are in possession of a soul. I personally do not know too terribly much about it. I am more here to introduce them to you and hopefully aid in the marvelous research you are doing with that new Helson model. And she would sort of look over to Kellen. And you, for the first time, Zio has almost been like taking you all in, hasn't like made eye contact necessarily.
Hi, yeah.
And you would see Zio sort of lock in with you, Kellen.
So the soul in question is in this ring right here. He does have a name. He goes by the name of Vorswold. I just called him Vors, but yeah, he's in here.
And Zio would sort of cross the space very effortlessly. Minor steps, but he almost glides ever so graciously.
He's like holding his hand up.
Sort of coming over and are you like holding out the ring or are you like showing it on
hand?
Probably getting like uncomfortably close to you to like inspect it. He would very lightly sort of take your hand at the wrist and sort of move it down, inspecting the ringed finger itself.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
say that
yeah.
it speaks
Like
sentience, it possesses
full,
awareness,
cognitive soul, has like thoughts and feelings and stuff of his own. Has like a whole like history behind him too. I've kind of talked to him about it. He's a little quiet when it comes to that. He doesn't like to talk about himself, if you know what I mean.
Marvelous.
I mean, yeah.
And is there some way I could
haven't
speak to this
really talked to
Vors?
him yet. I didn't let him know about the good news. But yeah, I'll go get him.
Right, but before that, young man, before we alert him, give me one moment. I'm like inspecting your hand. He would take his free hand, and you'd see a little bit of like arcane rune sigils being drawn. Those of you in the know, he is clearly casting some like hybrid of identify meets detect magic. Probably lightly picking up on this. I'd say Marius, you pick up on it the most, that this is just a very unique form of casting. Maybe this is how Illithids cast magic. Maybe this is how Zeo casts magic, but I mean, he seems fairly powerful. And he would cast this spell, giving a look over on the ring. My.
Yeah, that's kind of what.
This ring is very old.
It's really old.
Very, very old.
While Zio's distracted by this, and because Gail's paranoid, she just wants to subtle detect magic, just to make sure there's no chaos bullshit going on.
For sure. Give me a perception or arcana check with advantage, as the actual casting of it with your subtle is super easy enough to cast.
They're the same, so let's do arcana, because it's fun flavor.
Yeah.
I don't use that much. You said with advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah!
Hey.
21. Quickly casting this. You would get magic from, again, several items here in the space. But looking over at Zeo, you don't see any chaos magic. His aura would be almost rainbow-like. It's something that you haven't seen in many individuals. A lot of people have a very dominant color or sort of fashion to it. Zeo seems to be in constant motion, this shifting rainbow color. It's probably vaguely like the snarl, but it seems far more uniform with its color shiftings. It's less of like a mix of these like clashing pastels, as more it is like a block of yellow presses and then orange blues begin to like push through his aura in this like slight shifting motion.
Kind of like how like the color changes in an aurora borealis happen.
Kind of,
like
yeah.
You can almost see like the wave traveling across sometimes.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more defined than like an aurora borealis, but very much in that fashion.
Okay.
Like
more the motion, not the...
Yeah, than the color blocking.
Okay. That's cool. Gail will just breathe out a subtle sigh of relief. Whew, no chaos there.
And there would be, I mean, as you look at it for a minute, there is like a purple block, like a couple different shades, again, as it presses through. Nothing like you've seen with chaos magic, but the general aura may be present in there, but it's nothing like the infections that you've seen.
Okay.
Very different. Again, very fitting, very alien, pun intended.
So do you like me to want to go? You want me to go like
Squid
get
man.
him? Are you done with your thing?
Yeah. I am observing this item's power. If what you say is true, I believe its magical enchantments are strong enough for a full transfer.
It's cool.
I can detect the soul. Very strong. Very strong.
I mean, that's good for you, right?
Yes, I apologize. Calculations in my mind. This new model that I've been tinkering with is experimental in nature. Revolutionary it is. And craft are only able to take it so far, my skills being needed to bring it to life. I believe this item may be sufficient for transfer. But I will say first and foremost, if this does go through, so to speak, we have consent of this Vors.
I mean, it's
I
a cool
believe this
ring,
item will be
but,
destroyed in the
if it gets forced out of
transaction.
here, then it's
Is
worth
this
it.
a problem?
Oh.
Excellent. Excellent. And he's just like obsessively looking at this ring. Is there any other information you would like to impart before you speak with this Vors? Anything that you would find prudent to our interaction? Anything about this item that is noteworthy?
We found it in a cave?
Perhaps where you have found it. Its locale.
Yeah. On another
In a
sphere
cave.
somewhere.
Where was this cave located?
Underwater. In a lost temple. Is that deception? That's truth, isn't it?
Give me a deception check with advantage.
I'll give you a deception with advantage then.
I mean, you can give me a persuasion. I won't give you advantage, though. It's your call. Your call.
It's like, I mean, like,
nice.
yeah, you are being truthful, but like you're also trying to keep it vague.
I mean, yeah, because he's picking up these, like, where'd you get it? And you're like, a cave, and giving him everything besides where you got this thing from.
Fair, Kellen does
A
not
different,
remember
you know,
the
we just picked it up
exact
on
name of the
another
cave.
sphere. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly where it was now.
I don't even remember when we got it.
Was it?
Yeah, it was still.
I feel like it was
still
on. Was it on the same sphere as Strixhaven?
We found
It was on
those
Arcavia.
really crazy weapons or crazy items in that we didn't take. I can't remember what the name of that place was. So no, I told Vors that we wouldn't take the stuff.
Oh, we didn't have
Yeah,
time, right?
I've done a lot of things for Vors.
What? I wonder if I was there. I don't remember this.
This just happened to work out.
I knew your side quest getting.
I thought for sure we were gonna have Vors for forever.
Till the end of the campaign.
But with a 19, I mean, Zia would give a bit of a nod. Very well. Yes, speak with your friend. Let him know that if he is willing,
okay,
I believe the transfer can be done.
No, I mean, you said you wanted his consent, right? Like, if he says no, then you're not gonna do this. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just go get him. You can talk to him if you want.
If he is a willing, sentient creature, yes. My work is...
I'm sure also just being willing in general would help with the spell work.
Precisely. While it is my moral standing, an unwilling soul during transfer is difficult.
How
Do you
long
want me
does
to
this
go grab
transfer
Boris
take?
first? Like, you can explain this all to him.
That is a good question.
With
Well, I mean, you could just go talk to Boris.
to him, this would be almost instantaneous. As soon as the process begins and ends, it would be like closing his eyes and waking up in a new form. But sure, you're more than welcome to bring
Okey-dokey.
your
Let me
friend.
go
We
grab
can
him.
discuss more of the details as well after his consent.
Someone will like rub the ring and
Excellent. Yeah, it sort of like sparks up.
Hey,
You feel
Boris,
that
guess what?
little presence in the back of your mind.
Good news.
Hello,
Well, possibly good news.
Kellen.
It depends on how you feel about it.
Yes, my friend.
So we may have found you a body.
I'm all ears, friend.
Yeah, like somewhere for your soul to go.
Yeah, a body.
Well, so the details are
How?
a little
What?
crazy to me because I
Wha-
don't understand a lot of
Please
magic-y
explain
stuff.
more,
But maybe
please.
you'll understand it more. There's somebody here that wants to talk to you. And Kellen would allow it.
Very well, yes. He would begin to like press to like take control. And all of you would sort of see, again, some of you may have been there, because again, like Kellen has said, he's let Vors walk around a couple of times, maybe had a few like weird brief interactions before Kellen's taken back over. You'd see that sort of shift in Kellen, this almost like readjusting of his position, looking around the space, taking it in for the first time. Looking at all of you, probably relaxed. Looking at Zio, you all would immediately see like a panicked, like shifting in seat back a little bit, like a brace check, like, oh.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's fine. He's not connected to the big brain thing or something like that.
Right.
Oh yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Boris. I forgot to mention that he was an illithid.
Yeah, Kellen, I guess he did warn you about that.
Yeah.
Gale and Marius, either both of you or one of you, give me a persuasion check. If it's just one of you, you can have advantage, or if you're both doing it separately, just a normal persuasion.
I
I have a 5.
have a 6.
Yeah, both roll.
It's like 1 point better. Like,
Both roll. We'll both spring into action to convince him.
yeah. Oh.
I'm just real
Wow.
callous. Dude, chill, okay? Why are you freaking out?
It's probably Kellen, probably like in Vors's mind. You know, you're probably the only thing sort of keeping him like there and like stable and not like any more defensive. And all of you, you all promised to look after me during anything that transpires. You all will not leave my side.
Oh yeah, we'll be here. I mean, we'd like to be here. Kind of gestures to Zio to see if he's fine with it.
Zio would like give a bit of a hand up nod. Yes, of course. Please let me explain this further than whatever your friend had told you. This process for you will be quick. though in our time it will take likely an hour, maybe slightly more. Your companions here are more than welcome to stay here in the study, if they so choose. It will be intense. The power needed is great, though thankfully my reservoirs were prepared for these sort of situations. He sort of like clasps his hands a little bit, like in his front. Now, if I have your consent, friend, I would like to begin this process soon. Getting this new model online would be groundbreaking. Your new form will be incredibly durable, strong. It may take you some time to adjust, but from my experience, a couple of hours in your new vessel and you'll feel right as rain. The large experiment here will be seeing how your vision works. Helson himself was able to manufacture these models with dark vision capabilities, granting them sight at night. Something Warforged have never been able to have due to their power supply configuration, but with this new one, we have hopes to generate enough power to do even more. Like, Vors is just like overload as this is going down, like looking at you guys, looking over at Zio. Okay. Oh, okay. And this is guaranteed success. Zio would give a nod. Since your friends are more than happy losing the ring, it should be fairly straightforward. Preserving it would have made things slightly more complicated, but the enchantments in it should do quite nicely to bolster the transfusion process.
Yeah, this is a one-way trip. The ring is gonna be destroyed. So
We know the ring is gonna be destroyed.
And Vors maybe nods. Right. Okay.
but you get a body that like doesn't age, doesn't need to eat, maybe not even sleep. I don't know.
I suppose that is a large upgrade from my past living situation.
Oh, hey,
And he
by the
probably,
way,
in
Forrest,
Kellen's body,
you
looks
did
at the
mention
ring
that
on
if there was
Kellen's hand,
anything
like
that
sort
you
of moving
wanted
it
to
on his
tell him
own.
about where we found you, that might be pertinent to what he's doing.
Right. Kellen informed me that the ring's origin in my place would be helpful. My home, from my understanding, has been sundered long ago. We were in mid-defense, fighting off a threat. Probably like looking at Zio like with some disdain, but choosing not to dive into it.
Gail suddenly remembering, like, yeah, it was these guys, right?
These rings were bestowed upon some of the guardians of the tomb. Chimera himself, where they fell the holy grounds. As we fell, we hoped our brothers on the top level would come down. The dwarven aid never came. Upon the collapse, that is where I fell, and thus my new home. He motions to the ring. I'm not sure if any of that is of any great importance. Zio gives a bit of a shrug. It would explain the strength of your soul. A former zealot's bond is unbreakable. Like, Vors probably gets a little, like, unnerved in his seat, like maybe clenching the armrest. Right. And you are looking all to you, and you all swear that you will remain close during this.
Of course, man. We got nothing else to do.
Not till midnight, but that's
I mean,
hours away.
I might step out for some air at some point.
Let's do one more round of persuasion checks from everyone, including Kellen.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened. My internet just dropped.
Now Vors has the whole picture. He's heard the sales pitch.
I'm back.
Oh no.
Okay.
You know,
That's better
you know
than
I'm
last
here
time.
with you, Boris.
We're more
Welcome back.
reassuring.
Kellen, you got a clutch.
Of course you know.
Hi.
We're
I'm
doing
here
one
with
more
yours.
round of persuasion checks.
And I'll
Now
give
that
you
Vors
advantage,
has the whole
Kellen.
picture.
I'll give you advantage as well. You have a bond.
Yeah.
Persuade him harder.
And Vors was just doing like
You
a double
fucking
check.
blame
Like,
him?
do you guys swear that you'll stay here and not leave me while this happens?
He's being a real coward right now.
Nice.
Yes.
And looking at
This
all
is
of
pretty
you.
poetic, you know. He's being saved by the people who killed him.
Yeah.
It's a Terminator moment.
Fair.
Gonna wake up, just like choke out the good old.
And Vors and Kellen's body would look at all of you. You hear Kellen's voice making eye contact. It's kind of like this nod of affirmation. Very, very well. I suppose we should indeed let this begin.
Yeah, you got it, bud.
Kellen, if you will. And he like motions up to the ring for you to like, take the driver's seat, basically. And there's that, your perceptions shift as you were in that dark space when you're in the full passenger seat, and you sort of come back to, and Vor's in that dark space. I'm going to
Absolutely, bud. If you need
I'm going to be
anything,
alone
let me
for
know.
just a little bit, Kellen, if that's all right. A few prayers to make. You feel that departure in the back of your mind as you're alone once again. And Zio looking, fairly happy. You could see the expression more in his eyes. The tendrils that sort of hang down. They don't really move all that much, though. They would be maybe perked ever so slightly, as if like smiling. Wonderful, wonderful news.
Yeah,
would you
can we
like me to take
discuss
the
that
ring
part
now,
first?
or should we discuss finance first?
Finance?
Yeah, how much
Yes.
did you want to pay for the soul?
It is a very fair question. I think everything included, ease of all of this. Are any of you
Oh no, sorry.
guild
This is
affiliated?
just for the
Like looking
performance
at
that we're
sort of all
going
of
to
you?
go see.
I take it,
But
Rakdos?
no guild affiliation. Yeah, when in Rakdos, right?
There would almost be like a slight ease in his posture a little bit.
You know what they say, when in Rakdos.
Yeah, I suddenly realizing how this looks. Yeah, we more just kind of wanted to blend in and.
I mean, you probably appreciate just wanting to be under the radar.
Yeah, we're
And
we're
he
only
makes
here
a face
for
of like, oh, maybe I
days.
should have said.
And like Datla probably has that moment too of, oh, that one, sorry, I didn't even think about optics there. My bad. And you would see Zio sort of like motion at all of you. Oh, it is fine. It is fine. That is a bit of a relief. Keeping this off of the network would be preferable. The guild tax itself is a lot for a willing and viable soul such as this. In part, since the ring will be destroyed itself, I would be willing to offer 21,000 gold pieces.
Can I just take a
What?
minute and
1,000
talk with my
compensating for the
associates,
ring's
see if
destruction,
that sounds
of
like
course.
a deal?
Ooh.
Very well. And it's at that point you would all notice the teapot while you all have been talking has like filled up everybody's cup, and then now a small like tea tray is floating to sort of each of you to offer like any tea or any additives into your into your teas that are in front of you. Zio giving a bit of like a bow. Of course, please. I needed to check on a few things anyways. I will begin prepping the labs. Take your time here in the study. And he would, again, sort of finish that bow, step out of the space. He would wave his hand, and like an unseen barnyard door would sort of slide, closing you all into this space. And you can't even hear Zio walk off. You just have to assume you walked off further into the estate.
Gale just is eyes wide,
Did I
heard
hear that
21,000, and then after that, in
Did I
her
do
mind,
that right,
heard,
guys?
Mama's getting a new wand.
Well, it's Kellen.
He's
Whoa.
so good.
Yeah, but like, are you? I mean, is he buying boars? Like, I don't. Like, we can't sell him.
I think that he like is
person
a
or
free
so we
being
can't-
to do
that's-
whatever he wants after he
Right?
does the thing with it, right?
Like, would he?
Well, okay.
Yeah, should we clarify some things?
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
we should
I
clarify.
He said
assume-
that a soul is hard.
Say 1,000
to
for the
come by.
ring, but
Tap,
then
go
what's
tap
the other
to-
20,000 for? Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if it's like
it's
But,
our
like, what is he
finder's
doing
fee.
with the war
If it's a
forge?
finder's
Like,
fee, it's
like,
one
I'm
thing.
using
But
the
if he's
war
like,
forge
I don't
to,
want to ever lose
go
this
around the
war
world
forge,
and
then,
fight
like,
crime and stop evil cults like the Auric and stuff, because then that's like
Well,
a bonus for us, right?
Well, I mean, like,
Is,
of course. Well, yeah.
is Datla in
Yeah,
there?
what's the intention here, Datla?
Datla is in here.
Yeah.
So would you have any idea, like, if Zio is intending to consider this a purchasing of the soul and, like, he's not allowed to leave with us? Because that would make sense. Like, this is a whole machine thing that, like, we all assumed we could walk away with.
I just
I
assumed Vors would go
kind
off
of
on his own
assumed
too,
Forrest
but
was going to
like,
go
I thought
off
that he
on
would
his
have
own. I don't
Yeah.
think
the
Forrest
to
wants
be
to
able
hang out with
do
us.
So. I didn't
I thought
know
he
that we were like
Okay,
selling
good,
him
that's
into
fine.
slavery. Yeah.
Well, that's what we just want to make sure.
I imagine. Let's think about this for a second. The consent was very critical to Zio, not only for
For
spell
what?
casting reasons, but also just they even said like morally, they want consent. So I imagine this is they just need Vors for a time to get the notes or whatever research from this updated high tech custom model, and then maybe Vors is free to go about their
Just, like,
business
double
once
check.
testing and notes are done.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that couldn't be the case, but I'm just saying maybe we should make sure. It just
Yeah.
seems like a lot of money for something that we were like, hey, we'd like for you to do this, Like, we didn't approach it like, hey, do you want to buy it? We're like, hey. But
Okay.
I mean, if it is above board and everybody's fine, I guess we'll accept that amount of money. Gail
That
can
would
get
do
a
so much for us.
broom and
No,
Kellen
I'm not
can
getting.
get
I'm
his
getting a wand.
companion
I
pet.
want to make sure this spell works.
Well, you get a wand and a broom.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
whoa,
Let's
whoa,
not
hold
plan
on.
purchases just yet, you
Yeah,
guys.
what?
Like, technically, shouldn't this money go to Vors?
That's a lot of money.
No. We can give him like 1,000
Yeah,
gold
the
startup
only
money.
thing
seems
that I
fine,
was
but we
like,
did,
hey Vors, I'll find you a body,
we
bud.
did technically
It's
found him a
my
body, so that seems
my
like a
part
pretty
here's
good
done,
payment.
right? That's a lot of money.
Let's be honest, though, we're not going to leave this planet with that money. Feel it in my bones.
No, we need that. We're not going to spend it. We're not going to lose it. We're going to save it. Well, we can spend some of it, but
We planned and God laughs. Don't ever forget that phrase.
Does Boris?
So, like, what? You're not going to tell Boris that you're getting 20K off of potentially selling him?
Well, he's right. Maybe step one, let's figure out what the money's for.
I thought
and then
that this
step
just
two,
goes into the group fund.
we can debate how to split it up and then morality. Step.
Oh, we already built the.
Well, I
we
meant
built
like, for splitting
the
it with
money for the
fours,
run for the
or
ship.
I believe we have to finish repairing for a ship.
Oh, but this could go for a lot of funds for
Well,
helping
you
Captain
know,
Professor
like,
Lady get her
Maybe a
tattoo.
bigger
They
ship.
put in extra money.
Ooh,
That's fair.
yeah.
Maybe we could hire some
why
mercenaries.
are you so obsessed?
And
with
it
getting a
could
wand,
go
Dale?
towards getting a wand to help the spell work
What do you
to help
want?
ensure that she
You got
gets out.
royalty money
Maybe
coming to you.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, if you don't know Gail, maybe don't bring it up. So, all right, let's just bring it back. Okay, I think that was just like, what the fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right, let's bring it back. Yeah, let's just like, this is pointless if we didn't have to debate if we're selling him.
Yeah, we should verify. Because again, I
Yeah,
don't
maybe it's like
know
a salary. Like, he
if
just has to be
consent
here for a
to
couple
being
years.
a slave. So
Yeah, well, we should verify and then.
yeah, no, he was pretty weirded
So he's
out by
been
that. I could tell.
towards.
Forgot to tell him that he was an illicit.
Well,
I
I
forgot
was
that
kinda
was the whole
ignorant, but
thing
he's
that
an
he was going through at the time that he died. But
So I'm.
how many illicits have you met?
To be honest,
Okay.
I've never met an
I
illicit.
mean, that's a fair statement then.
Like,
I've
is the
just
first
never
one.
met an
this
illicit.
is my first one.
Oh, okay.
He seems above board. I like him. Yeah. So
And after a little bit of time, you guys can hear that barn door begin to open and like fade
God
away.
damn it.
Eldritch
And
Blast.
as Zio steps back into the space, that's where we'll take a break.
Oh, man.
Ah!
I feel like
So-
Dragon Ball Z. Like, we keep cutting off at the best parts. Dude, I finally watched Goku become a Super Saiyan, and I literally
Oh,
fell
man.
asleep like 2 minutes before it happened because I was
So great though when they're on planet Namek.
Oh,
Like, oh
yeah.
man.
I
Really
missed when
tried.
Krillin got blown up. I like literally missed that
know.
part. I fell asleep.
Doesn't he get like sawed in half at first and then
He got
blown
literally
up?
blown up. It was an explosion.
Jeez.
I was more upset when
I
Piccolo
have
died.
good potty.
He's my favorite.
Yeah.
But we'll take a quick like 10-15 minute. I'm probably gonna take Dog out and see if he has to go potty.
Okay. Take a break, Craig. Take 15.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig, boy, break time.
Feel free to